They're so important. And I think because they're simple, right? So people are like, oh, no, I need to take the supplement. I need to take the cleanse. I need to buy the thing. I need to get the $500 gadget. I need to do this. You're right. Because this works not about isolating food. It's not about supplements. It's not any single intervention. It's lifestyle transition. And when you first start, you think, oh, I've got this. And then you start stacking and you're like, oh my gosh. But Cris, this is too simple. Really? Because I will tell you that I teach people this in nutrition school. Not kidding. But I think people don't realize these simple things really can make a difference. This is Keep It Clear. Real conversations about skin, acne, and women's health without the overwhelm. Because you deserve answers that actually make sense. Today's episode starts now. I feel like I am always on my soapbox about this. And I'm like, are people going to get sick of me talking about this on social media all the time? Because they literally don't shut up about it. That is how important your lifestyle habits are, Cris.
I like them. I'm in. I'm invested. Let's do this.
They're so important. And I think because they're simple, right? So people are like, oh, no, I need to take the supplement. I need to take the cleanse. I need to buy the thing. I need to get the $500 gadget. I need to do this. Because they're like, those things are going to work really well. I'm like, yeah, sure. But what about your foundations? If you don't have if you're not eating enough food, drinking water, sleeping, and reducing your stress, just those 4 things, I don't care if you get a vibration plate and a red light mask. You need the other 4. Okay, I have those things. So I get it.
I have to be honest. When you said vibration, my mind was going somewhere else.
Oh, you were going to
because
the
you're
dark
talking about
section.
Sleep and stuff, and then I was just like, oh my gosh, what are you saying? How?
Yeah,
I'm gonna turn red.
Back it
Talk
up.
about this.
No, I love my dark romance books, Cris.
I know, and that's why I always have to go with caution with you. I never know what you're going to say.
I know, you never know. But I was saying vibration plate. Yeah, so core
functional concepts. This is what I call them.
And lifestyle pillars.
Yes, I call them. And we'll talk about how to stack them. So I call them lifestyle stacks, right?
Yes.
So
fine. Yeah.
When we say core functional concepts, CFC, I'm not kidding. They're designed to support the body through the healing, right? Through its own journey as a whole. It's not that one or the other. So if you're listening to a detox podcast, or you're listening to the pillar in the first, or you're listening to estrogen, I am telling you, all of these concepts are designed to support all of those issues.
Yeah, don't care if you're doing a detox or you're doing a hormone balancing plan or you're doing a candida protocol or I don't care what you're doing. Mm-hmm. If you're eating low histamine, you're watching your lectins, you're doing a carnivore diet, it doesn't matter. These things are not optional.
You're right, because this works not about isolating food. It's not about supplements. It's not any single intervention. It's lifestyle transition. It's really honoring how the body actually functions through food choices, through mood, through emotional load, through daily energy, sleep quality, rest, bowel regularity. What else do I have? Really, it's intentional supplementation, right? Not randomizing. So if we want to change habits, we need to understand how the pieces work together. Not when, we're forcing single things in isolation. So this approach is really meant to feel supportive and realistic and sustainable rather than overwhelming and rigid. And when you first start, you think, oh, I've got this. And then you start stacking and you're like, oh my gosh. This is when I work with any client privately, where I'm hanging in KSW, I'm working, on some remote island with something, whatever it is.
Oh, take me with you.
Right? No, I'm sorry. The boat is full of one. One plus a pup.
I'll go to the island next door.
Okay, fine. We'll be sitting there sign languaging, right?
Yeah,
if we get bored, we can just do a single sign language and we know we're down the conversation.
Great.
But the thing is what I want people to understand is we want to choose core concepts to really focus on implementing, say, one at a time. That's what I talk about stacking. We'll get more into that later. I'd rather actually just jump into what do we consider lifestyle? Because we've talked about them from season 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, we talk about them pretty much. We weave different ones into every episode. We obviously talked about the core ones, right? Whereas eating enough food in the day, drinking enough water, reducing your stress and getting quality sleep. Like these are all like sleep, water, and food is a necessity for life. And we need to be working on our stress. So those are like the 4 foundational. And then under each one of those categories, there's different lifestyle habits. So let's talk about like nutrition first. What are some like
No, you can't
concepts?
talk about nutrition first.
What do you want to talk
You
about
have to
first?
talk about chewing your food first.
Well, that's what I meant. The nutrition pillar, like the food pillar.
I get it. I'm like, how do we
Yeah,
get
yeah.
to food? What's happening here?
Yeah, it's well, we're eating.
Okay, we're going to
That's
chew
how I'm
for the
getting
poo
there.
is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Let's start with our teeth because that's where digestion starts. People don't realize that.
Through mastication, through the teeth. So how geeky do you want me to get here?
Well, let's see, and then I can de-geek if I need to.
Okay.
For the people.
So
That's what I'm
we
here
need
for.
to chew thoroughly. So I say, just like that booster juice or that smoothie, that's the consistency of your food before you're swallowing. And that's for the effective digestion, healthy bowels. We need food to spend time in the mouth. We have teeth as an accessory organ. That's for mastication. That's to break it down. We have our tongue to swirl things out. We have saliva. So we have a little bit of lipase and amylase that come out, and they're starting to break down our carbohydrates and a little tiny bit of fat. This is why we need to keep food in the mouth so that this enzyme can do its thing. If we are doing our very standard chewing, which I will tell you is less than 12 chews, know this as a fact, and that's why chemists will only have flavor for things that are highly processed for 20 seconds, or they make them dissolve within those chews because they know we just simply won't, right? So this process not only enhances nutritional absorption, it's also reducing the strain on the digestive system. So when food is adequately chewed, it's going to help prevent digestion issues. So if we have that bloating, indigestion, what about smoother bowel movements, right? Overall gut health, essentially. So take your time with each bite. Your digestion system is going to say, I love you, I love you, I love you. Because we need to take that food, chew it down so it becomes bolus. It goes down to the esophagus. And then there's a whole other chemical reaction that's happening, right? So chewing your food is free. And I'm going to tell you, it is the most important act of digestion.
Yes.
We don't do this. We're stressed. We're busy. We're on reading a book. We're on television. We're watching television. TV trays, the bane of every life existent. Shit went downhill right after that. Industrial
Yeah, the TV
Revolution.
tray.
Thank you.
The Industrial Revolution really messed with us.
Like, I got to stop talking about it because it gets so mad, right? So that's kind of what I'd say about chewing. It's please. And I always say this is one that you want to hit in your first 2 weeks. Sometimes it takes people 2 weeks to really learn this.
It's you're having to like retrain your body while you eat, right? It's such a simple concept, but when you really start, like you realize how much you're wolfing your food down. This one's actually one of the more difficult ones for me.
Oh, see, even though you're not supposed to, I can drive a car and chew anything, and my food is so chewed, it is like phenomenal. I concentrate so much on my chewing to the fact that I'm probably making a left turn. I'm supposed to be making a right turn. So I'm not saying my driving's stellar at that point, but my mind is always on chew, 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 chew. Yeah. And I mean, I've also been probably doing this concept a lot longer than many people.
Yeah, I've been trying it for probably well over a decade now, and it just comes and goes for me.
It does.
I don't know what it is.
We get
It comes and goes.
distracted. The thing is it's mindfulness we bring back in, right? So the other one I really love as a lifestyle stack, and when don't we talk about water? So,
Hydration. Come on, guys. Our body is majority water.
well, why is it so important? This is what I ask people. They're like, Cris, I know about water. I'm like, okay, well, tell me why it's important. Because if our body makes up 60 to 75% of water, then we need to get it back in. And for my lovelies that tell me, don't worry, Cris, I have water in my coffee. Not a thing.
No, it dehydrates you. Coffee. If you drink coffee and alcohol, you need more water.
Yeah. So if we're having headaches or fatigue, dizziness, dry skin, if thirst is really common, right? Dehydration is likely a part of that. We can also overhydrate and dehydrate, don't get me wrong. But if we're thinking about detoxing, dehydration disrupts detox pathways. There's no way we can do it. So even an elimination. So flushing, what does water do? Flushes things out, right? So sweat, urine, bowels. aids in digestion for sure, absorbs minerals and vitamins. Regulates body temperature. Pardon, what? Lubricates the joints. You have achy breakies? Water. First thing I do when people come to me with that. It's also used to deliver oxygen throughout the body, support skin health. I mean, that's kind of why we're here. Blood pressure, because of sodium-potassium balance, that's an electrolyte. Preventing kidney damage. We definitely need water for kidneys. Remember the kidney chi, the blood flow. You need water to even make beautiful blood, right? What if you exercise and you want just a little more performance? Check your water. It's not a little vessel. And then people always what?
No, I was gonna say you're doing so good. Like I might go make myself a matcha.
With water? You're thinking that has water in it?
No. I'm saying like this is Chris's like bread and butter. Like she loves talking about this so much. So I'm like, I don't know. I didn't even need to show up today. I could just let Cris do this.
I do this every day and I forget. So when people are like, I'm doing all the things, and then I start to give them these lifestyle hacks. And I mean, not everybody's going to get the same ones, fair. Like I'm just kind of pulling out some key ones. I have about 12 core I really love. But, mostly between 6 to 8, most people do need. And then the other thing is you also need to know is then you need a check-in. Because then we forget that we were working on some and we got to go back to some. I've seen people use 3 lifestyle stacks and get clear skin with a little bit of digestive support on top of that. That is it.
And did they come and say, Cris, I'm doing everything already. I've already done everything.
No, they said, okay, let's just do this, right? And if they are doing the things, I'm totally cool with that. Then I need you to check in, right? So, even hydrating, people overhydrate. They're like, I'm drinking 3 liters of water. And I'm like, that's fantastic. Where do you live? Canada? No, it's December.
Yeah, you don't need that much water.
So there is a whole mathematical equation. Please don't go do that because what it's not doing is it's not still telling you if you're hydrated. I always tell people, check your urine. Is it pale yellow? That's really ideal. Like that straw-like color. If it's that morning urine, dehydrated. If it's clear more than twice, ease up on the water. Really easy. We all check our pee. We have to, either for men, they're standing in front of their urine, flush the toilet, it's a drop the head, right? Women, we got to turn around. Sometimes we can get creative and do the arm reach. Please look at your urine. It's going to give you an indicator of what's going on. This is often undervalued because climate, size, illness, temperature. What else am I missing?
Those activity.
Yeah, those are right there. Those are all cofactors into how much water you need. Plus, you can also get a cup. If you are eating your water-filled foods, you can get a cup of water. The body also uses its metabolic processes and can create a little bit of that water too. So it's not always that we're underwater, but we don't want to rely on the body having to use its own water process. That's as geeky as it isn't going to get there.
At the end of the day, we just need to be making sure we're having adequate water for our body and it's getting into the cells.
Exactly. So, I mean, there's a whole focus in building hydration. I mean, you have all that, right? Like you have.
Oh yeah, I've literally have everything in our Clear Skin in 30 days is our like foundational start here. All of these lifestyle habits, I put everything into Clear Skin in 30 days. I'll drop it in the show notes so you can check it out. It's like, it's stacked, this thing.
Yeah, and we need to understand how to increase water, right? It's not just a full bore. Because then the other thing is when we start drinking water, one of the lifestyle hacks, I call them hacks because most people say like, how can I get clear skin just by changing these, right? I'm like, because it's a biohack at that. You just use what your body needs, but they're really stacks. But drinking with meals. Are we allowed to drink with meals?
Very small sips if needed, not copious amounts where you're chugging back a liter of water alongside your steak dinner.
Yeah, we don't need anything interrupting digestion, right? We don't need more fluids. One of the main questions I always get is, Cris, what about soup? And I'm like, well, soup is mineral rich. It's a whole different beast. Right? So if we drink with our meals, we have the potential to have our stomach acid dilute. right? So, and we really need strong stomach acid to break down food. And again, if we're transitioning, when we say drink with meals, we're talking about water. Or we're just talking, when we're talking drinking, we're talking water. The other thing people say is, I'll have a glass of milk with my dinner. Well, milk is food, and milk is dairy, and does dairy pair? That's a whole other concept, right? So if we do have digestive issues, we don't want to be continuing to drink with meals because potentially, think about bloating, constipation, and gas, all those fun things. That can just be from drinking with meals.
Absolutely. Like we've had clients where we're like, hey, let's pull back on, the big cup of water or big cup of juice or whatever you're having with your meal and see how and they're like, oh my gosh, my bloating is way less. I'm like, oh, tripping.
Yeah, huge. I mean, and again, when you start doing these small little changes, then you're like, oh, it's not rushing in. You're going to take one of these changes, you're going to implement it over the week. Then you're going to take a new one and you're going to implement it. And that's why it's called stacking, because you just add a new one. See how we're going nice and slow? We're not rushing through this process. We're not trying to be.
But Cris, this is too simple.
Really? Because I will tell you that I teach people this in nutrition school. Not kidding. I mean, obviously, is the information a little bit more robust? 100%. But this foundation, and I teach our population this every single day.
Every single day. But I think people don't realize like these simple things really can make a difference.
Okay, so let's advance it. Let's take fruits.
Oh, Cris is going to talk fruit combining.
We love fruits.
I love fruits.
Your liver loves fruits. Your body uses
antioxidants.
Yeah, your body uses fructose
fibers,
and glucose in order to create energy, whatever it is. Electron transport needs a bit of it, right?
Great carbs for you.
Yeah. So we can add fruits into certain meals. That's fine. And we can eat them. The difference is we want to navigate because we want regulated moods and emotions, and we want to get rid of Miss Hangry because she's vicious. So in order to support, say, blood sugar or blood glucose, I like to call it, I call it the fruit rule. Nobody likes the name rule, but I like it.
We need a new name, like the fruit approach. I don't know, something.
I just like the fruit rule.
Okay,
right?
fruit rule, let's do it.
You can name it any which way, and I'm big on words, so should we really use the word rule? Maybe not, right?
We'll think on it.
But fruits are best eaten alone, plain and simple, right? So if you see a meal plan that we've issued and you're like, oh my gosh, you put an apple in my chicken salad. Yeah, I know we did. It's not so much about that, right? It's about looking at digestion. So sometimes I never give this to clients, ever, unless I potentially see that in their meal plan that they supply us with, that they've kind of like jotted down for us, that I'm seeing some inconsistencies. I'm seeing some digestive issues, right? So fruits are not to be eaten, say, with proteins, because it can alter digestion, right?
They digest at different times.
They do. And that's the thing. If we have slow digestion, now we can eat fats with fruits because fats are neutral. It just slows down that glucose load, right? So healthy. So if we're using nuts and seeds, right?
Apple and almond butter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. I also like celery and almond butter, or, for the people that are using.
I'm not a celery fan.
Yeah, you don't like anything with water in it. I'm convinced.
No, I love cucumbers.
Okay.
Love cucumbers.
Okay, fine.
I like celery when they've been chopped and sautéed, but like a fresh celery is a no for me.
Is it the ribbing? The strings?
No, it's not even that. It's the taste, I think.
There is really no taste.
I don't know.
It takes more calories to basically chew this sucker than we're getting out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the celery and the watermelon for me.
Okay, so you need to like pair that with stuff.
Also green peppers, I don't love. If we're getting into it.
Okay, apparently we're getting into it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, green pepper's technically a fruit, right? Anything with a seed in the middle, but we won't go there because it's just different sugar content. Yeah. So smoothies and, say, oatmeal, we can use fruits with those. Like if we're using, say, that vegan protein, just really watch putting animal protein and fruits together. Melons, so cantaloupe, honeydew, watermelon, they're eaten alone. You don't even combine them. You don't eat honeydew and cantaloupe. And any grocery store, little...
Oh, is that the bane of your existence, the grocery store melon?
It is, because I look at my kids and the death look is when they go to grab a strawberry and a watermelon. And I do. And I'm like, what are we eating first? They're like, I'm like, why? Because that sugar digests in 6 seconds. I'm like, and when are we going to eat that strawberry? And they're like, after that, like by minutes and minutes and minutes. As they're doing that, and they're putting both in their face at the same time. They turn around, they're like, eye roll. They're just like, I just answered the question right.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do it.
Right? But I know later, if they get gas and bloat, eventually they will trigger that back. So I'm just doing the foundation. I know I'm super annoying to them, but they have the foundation. So when's the best time to add fruits into the meal plan? I always say snacks. If you're never sure, snacks. Delish, right?
Yeah, and this is like, we take this principle for like the fruit alone rule for people that are dealing with big digestive issues. Like maybe we don't give this to every single client, but if you're having like some digestive issues, this might be something we would consider.
Do I want to open Pandora's box?
Oh my God, I don't know if I want the DMs.
If we have irritable bowel, IBSD, IBSC, if we have raging chronic acne, if you have anything that is systemic or heavy or it's definitely prevalent, you're adding the fruit rule. I can guarantee. I'm not even going into full holistic food combining because a lot of people are like, that doesn't make sense. You're supposed to have a protein, fat, and a carbohydrate. And I said, nowhere in life do we need the carbohydrate. We need the fiber, right? So I could argue that till the day comes home. I have no intention to because I don't love to get into the argument. I know I'm right. Mic drop. Right? It's how the body works. Fair. So what about meal timing? Super important.
Also very important. That's when I get so much pushback on this one, actually.
Because it's changing people's patterns. That's all.
On social media, they're like, what do you mean I have to eat within an hour of waking up? Like, I don't have time to do that.
Yeah, you also need to go get in sunlight within an hour of waking up so that your body's mechanisms can start their day. This is how we metabolize, right? Because meal timing, at this stage, the goal is less about changing your schedule and more about using it as a tool to read your body.
You also get pushback on I intermittent fast, so I don't eat until 3 p.m.
Okay, well, good on you. And that may be working for you. And, I really love IF for men. I do. Oh, I do. Women, we have a whole different complex, right? Meal timing directly influences blood sugar stability, which in turn affects mood and energy, digestion, sleep quality, skin health. So rather than pushing, harder and eating more often, just because you're supposed to, in quotes, right? We use timing as a way to notice how your body's responding, what it's asking for. And they're like, fabulous. No, you've turned off leptin. You turned off your hunger cue, ghrelin.
Yeah, because they're like, well, I'm not hungry in the morning.
Right. And I have worked with many clients, and I mean, I'm not just blowing smoke. I've worked with many clients that have come in with IF, with what I can see clinically as blood sugar dysregulation, as, just all of these things that are all related, plus acne. And I'm like, can we get you eating? I can't because, I'm going to gain weight. And I'm like, but I've
It's better for your digestion. It's better for your digestion.
Yeah, and we need time.
You get that.
Right? That's why they say eat every 3-4 hours. But some people they're so dysregulated in their blood sugar, they cannot do that. Or they don't know how to combine things, right? So if we're having gaps between meals, really, you might not even feel the blood sugar dip because you're used to it. Especially think about like ADHD medication that turns the signal off. As soon as the medication wears out, they're sitting in there and they are just ravenous, right? Like they're just plowing through their stuff. So instead, we're going to start looking at irritability, fatigue, anxiety, cravings, digestion discomfort, disrupted sleep, right? Digestive is only one of the things I just said. How's everything else? So we really want to keep your current structure first. We want you to pay real close attention to what you're doing now to any of these clues. Then we fine tune the timing. So by the time a coach is saying, hey, can we do this? We've already assessed all that. So, can we eat 30 to 60 minutes of waking? Can we potentially have a protein, fiber, and a fat, right? Can we eat every 2.5 to 3 hours, maybe 4, for steady energy? If we don't need the snacks, don't. Ladies, please have a snack between lunch and dinner. That is a long time. Snack it up. Love it.
from like noon to some people don't eat till like 6 or 7.
Yeah. Then finish
I'm
your
always
last
having a
meal 2 to
snack
3
hour.
hours before. If you want, if you're intermittent fasting, what about time restricted fasting?
The time restricted eating. It's like, why don't we shrink that 16 window down to a 12 window?
Women, I love 12 to 12.
Yeah, 12 to 12 is great. So if we finish, let's say we eat breakfast at 7, let's finish eating it at 7 the night before.
Yeah. So these are just those concepts. And if you're listening to this and you're like, this is so like sacrilege and poo-poo and I don't like this, try it. Try it over
What do you got to
6
lose?
weeks. Try it. But I need you spending 2 weeks monitoring your mood, your energy, your sleep, and your bowels ahead of time. Then I want you to do this after you've done water, after you're not drinking with your meals, after potentially, we're checking in. Why we want all the symptoms and everything ahead of time is because as you're changing, changes happen, nice and slow. So what happens? We don't catch in
notice.
right away.
It's not working.
It's not working.
I'm not changing anything.
Oopsie
Yeah, it is.
poopsie. Remember when you had a little ICL plus issue?
Oh, the ICO Plus, we're bringing it up again.
Right? But that's exactly that. That's exactly that. So I don't want to harp on this. It is super important. Your body loves consistency. Try and get your meals at the same time every single day. If you don't want to change anything, then eat at the same time every single day. Right? Just start there.
Yep, meal timing. What's next on your list, Cris?
Variety and rotation, my super sexy.
That's what I was going to say. I know, I was about, should we talk variety and rotation? Because this is another thing that people get stuck. And like I do it quite often, is you get stuck in your patterns of eating like the same 12, maybe 15 recipes. You just eat on autopilot and you are buying like the same vegetables at the grocery store, the same fruits, the same foods. And when you are buying the same foods, it's like probiotic strains where you want to rotate your probiotics, maybe every time you buy a new bottle, because you need to be getting different strains. You need to be getting different nutrients because each color of the rainbow has different nutrients to be offering.
Yeah, and polyphenols, right? Antioxidants, they all offer their own beautiful properties, right? Even our nuts and seeds, they can be great, but sometimes we have like tannins in our food or we have phytates, right? So we just really need to know about getting into that variety rotation. Go to the grocery store. And if you have small kids, play I Spy and go through the rainbow. I Spy something that's pink. Really get them curious. If it looks weird and we're like, ew, don't worry about it. We live in AI, right? I'm pretty sure, Katie, if you went and did your community coach, AI, I can never remember the name of it. What's it called?
The Clear Skin Coach.
Clear Skin's Coach. I'm pretty sure
Right,
if you
Clear
put
Skin
in there
Coach.
and said, what does dragon fruit properties have in it, right? Or what vitamins and nutrients, you're going to start to see.
That's why I built it.
Right?
That's why I built the Clear Skin Coach. I think it's such an underrated tool that you can be utilizing. And if you're wondering what is
It's good.
this?
I tried to mess with it several times and I couldn't get it. I'm still trying behind the scenes, but
I know you are. And this is our AI. So what we did is I built our own Clear Skin Coach with AI. And so I fed it all of our knowledge, like everything. So if you go and ask it questions, it's basically like having me and Cris in your back pocket. And I will pop in the show notes. It's called the Clear Skin Coach.
yeah, so we can start to educate ourselves that way instead of trying to say, what do I need to eat? How does that look? You know what I mean? And, it'll tell you how you cook that specific thing or how you eat it or if it's bitter or if it's sweet. So we can really start to use these tools to get more variety and rotation in. Typically, we're just creators of habits, so it's really easy to get stuck in routine, so we just avoid. So mindful meal planning, right? I always say to people, fine, get your apples and your bananas. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What's your next 2 fruits for the next 3 days?
Raspberries. I love raspberries. Great source of
you
fiber.
and Tegan would be besties, right?
Frankie my youngest loves wild blueberries. Frozen wild blueberries is a big fan.
Yeah. See, there's so many different things, but really
Mango.
Oh yeah, mango, antihistamine, right? So this is what happens in my brain when people say things. I start computing. So this is why I cannot open people's file ahead of sitting in front of them.
Yeah, I know. And I know clients like, what do you mean you don't open my file beforehand?
I cannot.
Because, you don't want to have a bias to it.
And just this week, and I'll show you how the brain works, with all of this. As people, her brain. I'm pretty sure everyone's brain works like this. I'm just convinced.
Debatable.
I met with a client, and she brought me, I don't even know how many functional tests, maybe 8.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And I sat there and I said, okay, listen, I didn't know. I went through these with her, but I didn't. So I was just kind of like talking. And I said, okay, listen, I have no answers at the end of this. Because it was a nutrition clinic. And I just said, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to think on it and I'm going to get back to you. But she has been a past client. So she was like, Cris, I'm down with that. I said, sometimes it can be a week, but I'm going to let you know I haven't left it. I need to go for walks. I do really good working there. I need to take all of this and just chill.
Yes, absolutely. I do the same. I said that to a client yesterday. I was like, I need to think on this. Like, I'll have your protocol to you by Friday, but because I don't want to make a rash decision just to get it done. Like, I don't like, oh, you want to, yeah, let's use this and get it done. I actually want to give it thought. I want to like analyze it. I want to let it mull around in my brain.
Yeah. So this is how I know how clients start thinking when they're like, oh my gosh, she just told me to do these 700 things, right? So now I just go, okay, listen, this is what I'm going to do. I had it to her the next day. She goes, okay, that was way quicker than I thought. And I was like, I gave my brain a rest. I chilled. I thought about it. So really, if I just said to you, hey, go eat the rainbow, go let lots of new colors and nutrients in, that's a lot less hectic than trying to figure it all out, right? So
Absolutely.
Yeah. Then what about protein, fat, and fiber? Because I mean,
That's my fave to
This is
talk
your
about.
fave.
PFF.
we see how we don't
PFF
say
method.
PFC.
PFF.
PFF.
Protein, fats. Protein, fiber, and fats.
Yeah, we love.
Yeah, we call it the PFF method, the protein, fiber, fat method, because this is so important for stable blood sugar.
Mm-hmm.
When
And nervous system mode.
Because let's rewind and tell you why. So when you are chronically under eating, when you're not eating enough proteins and when you're not pairing your protein, your fiber, and your healthy fats together, those three are going to give you stable blood sugar. When you have stable blood sugar, your cortisol is going to be happier, which is your stress hormone. But if we are under eating and say we skip breakfast and then we grab a muffin from Starbucks on the way to work and we're like, oh my gosh, thank God, I was so hangry. What happens is that that carbohydrate that hasn't been paired with anything is going to be spiking up your blood sugar and then it's going to be crashing back down and you are going to feel like crap. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I need more food. And then you create this like spike and crash all day. Then you get home and you binge on all of these foods. You're like, oh my God, I need a bag of chips. Like, I just need something. Have you ever had that feeling where like, I need to eat a handful of chips right now or I'm going to snap on somebody?
Yeah, because your body needs the electrolytes and it needs easy glucose. The chips don't break down that quick. So that's a chronic stress. So salts for sure.
I need a cookie. I need a something. Anyway,
I did that last night.
I know. I did go look, but my husband's pet peeve is we have such a healthy household. He's like, I go in there to get a snack when I'm watching my shows or my sports after everybody's in bed. And there's nothing but seeds and powders in here. Everything needs to be made. He's like, there's nothing for you to snack on.
Yeah, I get that complaint all the time. My friends don't want to come over because we're an ingredient household. And I'm like, what does that even mean? You got to make everything. And I said, fantastic. I said, because the $135 I just dropped on one bag, I don't need to share with people that don't appreciate it.
Yeah. One bag. Okay. I know, but my kids and husband eat through the chips I buy pretty quickly, so it's their own fault. But yeah, we want to be having our blood sugar levels stable because when our blood sugar and our cortisol are happy, we are not increasing the sebum or oil production in our skin, which is going to clog pores and lead to break it. So this is why we want to be having protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Stable blood sugar, happy cortisol.
Yep. And supports hormone signaling. So that's going to support mood, energy, sleep, and skin without needing those super huge aggressive interventions, right?
Yeah. And I like to kind of tag on the eating enough food in a day to the PFF method because so many people are under eaters and they don't even realize it because they've just, they're under eaters. The body's just become accustomed to it. But when you are not eating enough fuel, you're going to be impacting your energy. You're going to be impacting your mood. You're going to be impacting your sleep. You're going to be impacting your skin. Our body, it's like trying to run a car on fumes. My husband gets so angry when he gets in my car and there's 4 kilometers left on the gas. That's like your body.
So outside of those, these are the big ones I go with, the super big ones. I mean, there's more, but I think for now, I think people should start implementing these, start stacking them, start seeing what they do, start cataloging symptoms, start cataloging their journey. And if you want the details, if you want the intricacies, if you need to understand a little bit more, then you go in and you grab a protocol.
Clear skin in 30 days.
Grab clear skin in 30 days. You grab other little nuances. But I am telling you, if you start here and you don't have change within 4 to 6 weeks, you need to be working with somebody. Like that's a non-negotiable for yourself. You're going to invest in yourself that way.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Another fun-filled episode here at Keep It Clear. We will see you next Wednesday for a new episode.